So I guess this is going to be part 2 of this point, Rev. And I'll send a copy over to the therapist if she can get to YouTube. Yeah, I have been looking at other stuff online and trying to talk about other things happening. The Santa Monica shooting that we actually had, or something of the. Yeah, it is a shooting over there. I was still trying to get information from the locals, see what's going on, but they haven't had that much information. That's what scares me a great deal about it. Oh, somebody's trying to do an earthquake shake thing. They have to have one up in your area. They need a shake fan. There's a shake preparedness event happening somewhere in California. We got one of our local reporters out there trying to show how it is to survive an earthquake. Talk to a native who's been through it too much. No, because I'm watching other things. When I saw the shooting about Santa Monica College, there was a shot at an employee. The person runs off. It scares the hell out of me. It does. I hadn't been in that kind of a situation where it was a campus lockdown, but damn it, I came close to it. Almost. Whenever they had sheriffs in the area trying to hunt down a suspect right by the college, and if the suspect was armed, it terrified our campus. I remember coming across on one particular um, time off from college. It was one day, in between classes. I got in a text. I got in a text from the sheriff's department on our campus, and I was hunting for every news source I had on the internet, whether it was radio or not. I wanted to hear what the hell was going on. My brother had a scanner going on and would check things out. But the campus was not giving me enough information, and nobody was covering it. We had a suspect on the loose that was armed and dangerous in our campus. This happened several years ago when my brother was still alive, and I was sick to my stomach over this thing. It's bad enough we saw when we were coming across the news concerning about UCLA. My brother's stomach probably hit the floor. Mine was already buried underneath. But when I heard about my own college campus, that's what really scared the hell out of me. So every time there had been a school shooting somewhere, I always had that floor dropped underneath me, and my stomach is still falling. I know those kind of feelings. I recognize them. It doesn't mean I like them. Doesn't mean I want them. It means I know about them, and they scare me a great deal. And I'm trying to deal with that one. I'm trying to cope with this. I'm trying to deal with it as much as I can. Because this was crazy. This was crazy. They saw the gunman. They got the gunman. They didn't come on the campus. But I always had that fear going on. Every time I kept going to campus, I always had that nausea I had to fight down all the time. This was like home. You've been there long enough at a particular place, you have a feeling like it's home. And how do you feel if you got your home invaded? Dave looked at UCLA as his home, even though he didn't graduate, but he went to UCLA for other reasons. Reasons buried alive like the worms they are in my videos. But it was still his campus because he had been there for a while. He got used to it. It's like a second home to him. I talked about it on my other videos on this one. How much of it was important to him. If it was important to him, it was important to me. But it didn't mean I was going to be a Bruins bear, that's for damn sure. But I could get me a Bruins bear for a souvenir, and pins and stuff. But I didn't have the connection over there. I got more of the connection with my own damn college here than anything else. I think I got the last 2 teddy bears actually sold off in the campus store. And I wanted them. I wanted my bear. But it was still so damn screwy. That was so damn terrifying. Reading the text and knowing that there was a gunman near my school, it made me feel small, insecure, terrified as hell. And I'm at home. Realizing that if I happen to walk into campus, is it going to happen the same thing? And what am I going to do with it? Google Maps, guys. Google Maps. Alright. Shall we take a trip in my own insanity here, guys? Alrighty. Start off with Lancaster, California. Actually, you can start up with Antelope Valley College. And me, on the other hand, I am going to Antelope Valley College. Because that is mine. I got so many photos of the old place, and I had to get photos of the new place being built over there. How much of it? You know, if you happen to do the search and you happen to see the pictures of it, what it looks like. Places before they did the remodeling, and then afterwards. Some things I'd recognize, and other places I didn't as much. And they still made me feel home and homesick and everything else going on, because it was still home. I showed the jet, and the jet's still over there. My old friend. Yeah, I said my old friend. When I was walking to classes all the way over to other places, I'd walk by the jet and give it a tap on the tail end. Constant reminder that Antelope Valley College is also an aviation engineering school. Besides dealing with mechanics, fire, police, they also deal with aviation. What better way of having a symbol like that on there? At one time, they actually had a silhouette. Actually, they had a model of the B-2 bomber, Batwing bastard, I called it. I had that on a corner, and showing people we're dealing with aviation, we're dealing with military, we're dealing with commercial, we're dealing with aviation on a whole wide level on that one. Library, I would hang out so many places. And the construction of new buildings happening. Yeah, that being said, what you see when you look at the Antelope Valley College is pictures from a few months ago that they're still working on. I don't know what the final product looks like these days. I haven't been over there in a while. But I suppose I'm going to be scared to death because this was home. Oh, I'm about to say it, this was home. And I miss it. I miss walking on the campus. I miss some of the stuff that I'm dealing with, and it hurts like a bastard. I know lousy food services they actually had over it. I mean, the first couple of years when I was going over to college, yeah, I liked the food services that they actually had, but they kept switching companies. And it was just, what the hell is this anyway? Oh, the construction that I see when they posted the map for Google, they're still doing it. They tore apart the quad to get the new student services square building worked on. No classrooms, just services at that point. And the old building was torn down, I know, last year. And they were building things up in that territory. Now, I don't know if they're going to take out the cafeteria and student store just to modernize things. It still made me feel sick to my stomach. No, it made me feel sick to my stomach because I was seeing areas of this place that I'd gotten used to so much that I couldn't deal with it anymore. But it was still home. It was still home. You talk about nostalgia kicking in the ass. Well, when I told you about those, about the lockdown, look in the area on the west, actually on the right side, that would have been considered the east quadrant. And you see those houses and those nice cul-de-sacs and homes in there. We had sheriff's department in there from time to time having chases. In that area alone, between J12th and K, or actually between J8 and K, that whole swath would terrify the campus. What would happen if a guy actually got through while the sheriffs were looking for him, got across the street, and tried to mingle into our campus? When there's a chase going on, I've discovered, anywhere in that area between J8 and K, from 30th Street south going east, it would terrify our school like crazy. It would go in a constant shutdown. We would go in a constant shutdown, and it would just absolutely terrify us. We wouldn't know how to deal with it. I'm going through, um, if I can, what the campus would look like. I'm going to see if I can get into it. Certain areas. So I'm going to look at the street view of the changes happening to my campus, of what they've got recorded already, of what I'll be walking through from the bus stop all the way into the campus. And then let me get past the engineering building. Left-hand side would have been the certain services and bungalows. They probably got them torn down already. They moved them over to the new administration building. But what the street view shows you is the old student services that was there. Was there. PDF the file. Because I remember taking a couple of classes in that place. Actually, more than a couple of classes in that place. I liked it. I don't know, I got used to the place. But now, since they've made this newer monstrosity, I don't even know how to look at the damn place anymore, to tell you the truth. But I'm missing this place. I am. I just don't know. I just don't know how to take it anymore. The picture that they got is dated a few years back, and I got used to this place. This was the place that I'd climb up stairs to get into the campus or use an elevator. This is the place of registration. You walk in through the doors that were facing the roundabout curve, the turn area. And through those doors, left-hand side, you have the computer labs, but right-hand side, automatic to your right, you would have the congested, compacted counseling area, and then they run into a table, actually a counter, where it would have the "Hi, how can I help you?" area. Then right behind them, it would have been financial aid. And then across from that, you would have registration. Everything in one area, congested. Everything compacted. And once you're done with that, after you get to the registration, it was like this other hallway here that you'd constantly walk through. Hell, you could just walk through the entrance that you came through into the building, gone to this down this short corridor. That on your right would be the entire registration area, and then they would have other office buildings that would deal with student situation services, picture ID, and stuff. And they would also have the small area for the cashier. I liked it. I liked it. There was something about this place that was just homey. It was homey. Everything was short and quaint. I liked it. Somewhere in there, you had an elevator that got you upstairs. There was like 2 or 3 other areas that got you upstairs to the classrooms. Air conditioning didn't work all that great, but you suffered for that shit. But they still had it okay over there, I guess. I'm saving the PDF files because they remind me of what I used to go through and what this college campus meant to me. This was home. This was home. I didn't have any problems with the campus. I didn't. I was looking at it as the great adventure I had. And it was. It was. I'm boring the hell out of you at this point, and I'm going through the maps looking at this campus. But when you call a place home, there's a bit of nostalgia, longing, and wanting to be part of something that was part of your own history. And this is part of my own history. I'm getting maps of an old building that's torn down long ago. They don't have the new maps built into the system yet. So which means I get to go down streets, get past certain areas that they're already developing at this point. I mean, I wish they could have put me onto the campus itself to look at it, but they didn't. And then I'll get to show you something else that they probably got updated since 2019. An area that I used to be home. Well, they had to make these places technologically compliant, basically. Meaning that they can only modify the building so much to handle the new new technologies and stuff. I don't know how to call it. Little fart. New wirings, new cables, new stuff. Quaint, it may be, but this was home. I got used to it. There was a professor had his office over there, Professor John Vento, did his college stuff in there. There were classes I'd taken over there for political science, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. But it's no longer there because this is the area where they have the Student Services Building, the new one. The pictures that I got are from 2019. 2019. They still haven't loaded up in the system. They're still a few years out of date here. Student services, then you had engineering, then you had library, and also study center. Then after that, it was liberal arts building I was looking at. Right next to Yoshida, which was the more liberal arts, but dealing with communications and English photography. But I wanted to get the areas what used to be because this was the building that my brother and I went through. It was. We had our first class together. Vietnam, the history of it. Not the history of the country, but the Vietnam War itself. Done by this radical professor who was an anti-war demonstrator. And he was telling us about, you know, his viewpoints of it. We didn't like it. There was other veterans taking that class that didn't exactly like it very much, especially when he kept spouting about anti-war this, anti-war that, and everything else going on. How to drive us nuts over the damn thing. Yeah. When I get back to the regular satellite view of it, the changes are gone. Actually, the changes are there, but the old places are gone. It still makes me feel lost as hell. Because I don't know where the hell I am anymore. Now I looked at one particular viewpoint on here on the campus where Sage Hall has been made in front of our lecture hall. They were getting the construction finished and they still hadn't quite cleared off the grass area yet. But it was dated back in May 22 when they were debuting this eyesore in the front. I just wish they did a walkthrough of the entire campus. But they didn't. Yeah, it just makes me feel that much older. I can't help it. I am that old. Enterprise Labs. And in the back of the buildings. What it was. I'm muttering too much, guys. I am sorry. I'm trying to review and understand what happened to my campus. And trust me, looking at this stuff makes me depressed as hell. Because I'm not quite sure how the hell to look at this stuff. Except when they show something of a nature. And they did. They did. Print. April 2024 is the latest photograph they've got on one particular portion of it. That I'm looking at construction of a new building beyond the student services. Trying to get a 360 where the hell. Okay, that's it. The building that I'm looking at right now is of the one that took out the old student services, and it's another classroom or more administrative services than this one. Because it's still making my stomach sick. I can't help it. I can't help it. It still makes me sick to my stomach. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just trying to get a handle on all of it. In the past nearly decade since I've been at that campus, I'd seen a few buildings go down and up. And when you have personal attachments to certain places, it makes it hard as hell to cope with it. And it just hurts like hell. There are certain shots that they would have of what used to be, and then they change it to what is. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more and more. It's like I can't even deal with this, but I have to deal with it. Because it's happening right now. It's happening right now. Places destroyed, a new complex being made, and I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to think or feel about it. At least they didn't take out the cafeteria and student store. That's a good thing right there. But I am just so damn miserable about it. Because it was home at one time. And they had the bungalows out there for a long while they were going through the construction. Going through the back ways, trying to get through the campus if I can. I guess not. I want to go back on the campus so damn bad. I mean, online is okay to a point, but I need to go back. I need to go back. I've seen too many changes happening on a campus that I'm feeling like I'm losing track of things. And I wish I wasn't. Because I miss it. This was my campus that I grew up on, of sorts. This was my place. This was my place of, of learning, of growing, of maturing. And I miss it. I miss this place. Maybe I'm a bit of a fuddy-duddy at this point over here, but what the hell? I'm a fuddy-duddy. I'm a fuddy-duddy. What can I say? A long time ago, I didn't feel this way about a college campus. I mean, yeah, I went on Pierce College and felt it was just like going back to school again. But I had a kid's mentality during that time. I had a kid's thinking at that time of what school was supposed to have been. Not what it meant to me. Not what it meant to me. And it hurt like hell. It hurt like hell. I wanted so much. I wanted so much. I wanted to know what it was like to be in a place that of college learning. I wanted a place I was feeling at home. That I was okay. That I was safe. That it was perfectly fine to be there. I wanted to be in a place where I was comfortable. I wanted to know what home was like. And when I leave that campus, when I when I finally leave it, I am going to be heartbroken, I'm going to be torn apart, and I'll probably be thrown up all over the place. Yeah, I said that. I said that because unfortunately at this point, when I leave home from one particular place, I feel the nostalgia and everything else kicking my ass during those days. And I'm not quite sure how to handle it. I didn't take school seriously enough when I was growing up. I didn't take it seriously enough where this mattered a damn. That this actually did mattered a great deal to me. And I couldn't just. I can't let it go. I can't let it go what happened. And when I actually do go back to campus, how is it going to be for me when I look at these things? And is it going to be all right? Is it going to be okay where I'll be safe again? And I can't tell you because I don't know. It scares me a great deal. It scares me a great deal.